welcome to L10. I'm Fiona Pando. We have lots of exciting segments lined up for you this week, but first, some headlines. Fifth former Soleil St. Cyr, who is also the student body president, was the youngest woman ever to have a crossword puzzle featured by the New York Times. Her puzzle appeared in the February 1st edition of the Times, and now she has her eyes set on having a crossword puzzle published in the Friday edition, notoriously known for its difficulty. Last week, the Public Forum debate team won the final and claimed the third of 4 semifinal spots at the 3rd annual Cottonwood Classic Debate Tournament. Congratulations on a successful tournament. This year, fifth former Sam Boston released his debut album, How Asphalt Ages. Our arts team brings you an inside look into the creation of his music and Sam's goals as a musician.
This past summer, I was getting really into the art of this abstract photographer named Aaron Siskind, and he did a series of tar abstractions, which are just photographs of asphalt with tar filling the cracks, and that got me thinking, and I was like, oh, that sounds kind of poetic. Because I had written a few songs and recorded them, like demo versions of them, and sent them over to my friend. And originally it was just my own project, and I was going to release them under my own name, and he loved it. And having him there made me think about the songs a little differently and see them a little differently, because the way he played over them versus the way I played over them were very different. We weren't too worried about not finishing or not having what we wanted, because it wasn't really, we didn't have a fully formed idea of what we wanted to do with it. Maybe my favorite song is Two Deer in Candlelight. While we were recording it, there were these 2 baby deer that walked up probably about 50 feet away and were just watching us play. And at that point, the sun had gone down, it was getting dark, so we'd lit some candles. And that was probably the most organic, truly, like 5 takes, and we had something we liked, song off the album. We've both agreed upon is that we need to keep the minimalist approach and keep it something that's very breathable, something that's very open. It can't be too dense, but at the same time, I think it's important that we allow ourselves to evolve as musicians in our sound, and let some things to happen naturally, not stop some progressions, or prevent new things from happening.
Whether you're in your room or walking between classes, you have definitely heard the chapel bells during your time at Lawrenceville. Senior news producer Caroline Bednar spoke to key Carillon players in our community and learned more about how they have adjusted during this pandemic.
I'm Sue Ann Steffi Morrow. I'm the school chaplain, and students call me Rev.
Hi, I'm Nina Laubach. I lead yoga and meditation here on campus and helping a lot of special projects around campus, including the Carillon.
Really, the first thing was what inspired us to start playing the Carillon. And that was actually the arrival of COVID. The first afternoon we played it was March 20th, last winter. And it really was, what can we do? What can we do? The school had been shut down. There was fear. I don't know whether you can remember back that far, but there was fear in our community. And we decided that one of the things we could do was play the Carillon. And we played the Carillon every afternoon at 4 o'clock from March the 20th to June 21st.
I'm Michael Sotorescu. I'm a junior in Cleve House.
I'm Richard. I'm also a junior in Griswold.
Essentially, like after classes every day, someone will go into the chapel and play the chapel bells, a piece of their choice.
There's a sign-up sheet, so every student who's a part of the program can just pick a day where it might be convenient for them, and they can play a piece of their choice.
There are many different forms of the Carillon, actually probably 3 main ones that we think of. I think people think of like swinging from ropes as one of them, kind of like the Hunchback of Notre Dame. Ours was changed over to an electrical system in, I would say 50 years ago, in which the instrumentalist plays a keyboard to create the sound.
But yeah, you turn on the machine and then you wait a few seconds and you start like playing the music, and you can't hear what it sounds like. So you just kind of have to hope you're not messing up, and you just play the song. You have to do it kind of slowly since it is a bell. So not all the notes are really accurate, but no matter how you play it, it always sounds nice. It's really easy to play, and you play it really slowly. So it's really easy to pick up. You can always just print out a piece of sheet music, spend a week trying to learn it, and really anybody can play the carillon.
Lawrenceville has announced it is sending 26 athletes in the class of 2021 off to continue their academic and athletic careers in college next year. Look for a more complete list in May as students confirm and share their decisions. Congratulations to you all. Lawrenceville Admissions has adjusted greatly this year to a virtual admissions season, from Virtual Revisit Day to the Lawrenceville Admissions Instagram. Senior features producer Federica Sahabian takes us behind the scenes of the process which will select the incoming class of 2025.
We've adapted admissions to be virtual this year in a couple ways. We're really lucky that we've actually been doing Skype interviews for a few years. So we've sort of gotten used to meeting students on screen.
We also were able to pivot and create the Best for All information series. And so we made this information series trying to fill the void of families not being able to come to campus.
Carrying the excitement of sort of a normal visit virtually is a little bit different. We certainly, as interviewers, I think we're really well aware that these students haven't necessarily set foot on campus, and we might be the only person that they have sort of a face-to-face interaction with as they're going through the application process. So we really talk about being on our game and making each student feel like this is the most important, part of our day, just like it probably is of theirs.
We are actually one of the only schools that we've heard of that are still pairing each prospective student with a tour guide. And so our support staff is looking at these prospective students and looking at where they're from, what their interests are, what sports they might play or instrument, and they're finding that perfect Lawrenceville tour guide for them so that they can connect over email.
With social media, for example, Instagram, we're able to take an athletic story and post it on our story so that we're kind of gathering and collating all the great things happening on campus into one place.
So it's been there. We've been Grannon since 16. This year, I really tried to focus on getting as many of our people out there as possible on our Instagram. So I did a lot more like raw videos of me awkwardly standing in front of the crescent right before the house, the crescent and circle BFA. Mr. Flaherty's video from the bowl got so many likes. I had one of the Kirby prefects, Sydney, she did a promo for the house one.
Being online has definitely allowed us to reach more kids. I've interviewed some kids from places that I don't think I've ever read an app from before. So that's really exciting. I mean, I think the reach of the internet is pretty incredible. And so we have been able to, I think, get more kids that otherwise couldn't visit campus to come and visit us virtually, which has been really exciting. So I do think that is definitely a benefit of this year.
From what I've observed in how many applications I've started to read, I do think that overall, and I think this will be a trend that other schools will see as well. I think that boarding schools have the resources to be in person, and I think dedicated and focused students want to be in person. So I think students are really, maybe they were thinking about boarding school, maybe they were, playing around with the idea. And now I think with so much uncertainty in terms of when will life and schooling go back to full normal, I think a lot of people are taking that leap and really giving boarding school a try, just because they're aware that we're able to pull our resources and be together on campus.
That's all for this week's show. As always, we welcome your suggestions, and if you have a story to tell, please let us know by email or DM us on one of our social media platforms. From all of us here at L10, thanks for watching, and we'll see you next time.